So this was very weird when I seen this. People still out here quoting these weirdos, but Elton John comes out and says that legalizing marijuana was the greatest mistake ever, one of the greatest mistakes ever in the United States. And he's not from the United States. Uh he's not even from this country, but he's speaking on stuff over here for some reason. And he says, I maintain that it's addictive. It leads to other drugs. When you're stoned, and I've been stoned, you don't think normally. Legalizing marijuana in America. Now, think about this. Now, he says, when you're stoned, you don't think normally. So, and this is a man who's a proud LGBT advocate. He says, when you're stoned, you don't think normally. So, was he LGBT before he was stoned or after? That's just the only thing I'm thinking of when he says stuff like that. Like, what is normally? Because normally, before weed became legalized, being LGBT wasn't really something that was normalized. So what does normally mean? You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand by that, but he's saying legalizing marijuana in America and Canada is one of the greatest mistakes of all time. Colorado and Washington became the first U.S. state to legalize marijuana for recreational use. John, Time noted that John has helped many people kick drugs and offered to help many more, citing now how he is Eminem sponsor and how he orchestrated English pop star Robbie Williams' first stint in rehab. But you gotta understand, back then people was taking hard drugs, and you still have cigarettes. Cigarettes take people out of here more than anything. So if he would have said tobacco and cigarettes being legalized, that would make a lot of sense as well. Cigarettes has killed more people. Marijuana doesn't kill people. Cigarettes kills people. You know what I'm saying? And usually people smoke cigarettes when they can't get a hold of marijuana. So they cope with cigarettes to kind of get through that situation, and it leads to tragic things over time. And as you noticed recently, when people do get cancer, what's the first thing they get? Cannabis. So cannabis has been saving children's lives, women, mothers, families, fathers, sons, brothers, sisters. I've seen older ladies recently that's been diagnosed with cancer from various situations, and they don't use drugs. And the first thing they said was, "Oh man, I have cancer, and I was thinking about um, trying this cannabis out." I have a friend whose mother has had cancer, and she became an advocate for cannabis to save her life. So cannabis has saved people's lives out here. And he revealed his struggle with vision loss. He said, "Unfortunately, lost my eyesight in my right eye due to an infection. I didn't know he lost his eyesight." He's not saying what the reason was, what infection it was, but he said he lost eyesight in his right eye. And John's personal drug experiences with drugs are explored in a new Disney documentary. This man made a whole documentary about experiencing drugs on Disney Plus, a documentary. They made a Disney Plus documentary about this man using drugs. Elton John's documentary on Disney Plus goes deep on music, drug use, John Lennon, and family. I can't. Ain't that a platform for kids and teenagers? I feel like that does more damage than anything that, as far as some weed being legalized. Let me move on. And then he said that the U.S. is going backwards as far as the LGBTQ plus community rights. He said it's all going pear shaped in America. There's violence and laws enacted in Florida which are disrespectful. There's a law now that if you visit a doctor in Florida, they can refuse to treat you if you're gay, which I find just unbelievable. I don't know if you know this, Elton John, but it's places in America that still refuse to hire certain people because of their skin color. Who I put my penis into, you can't. I don't know how somebody can really. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know how somebody can actually figure out somebody's gay without actually seeing them perform sex acts. That's kind of the weird thing that a lot of people are saying. So he's making it seem like you could look at somebody and be like, oh, he's gay. No, you can't really do that unless you have on some kind of costume that is referring to you as being that way. But as far as he's acting like somebody, you can walk into a restaurant and people be like, oh, that man performs gay sex acts. Oh, no service for you. Like, I don't understand that. But he said, we seem to be going backwards. I don't know who we is. It's like a virus that the LGBTQ movement is suffering. For John, who came out as bisexual in 1976 and gay in 92, huh? How could you be bisexual and gay? Okay, do y'all see that? I guess he was in between drugs around this time. It's all allegedly, I'm just saying. He says he came out as bisexual in 1976 and then gay in 1992. Can anybody explain to me how was that possible? So he was having sex with men and women. Then he said, oh, I'm just going with men. And then he just said that drugs make you not think normally. So was he thinking normally around this time? I'm using his own words. It's not about me. It's a growing swell of anger and homophobia that's around America. How can people be homophobia when we had roles? America's had roles where men have been dressing up as women, like Medea and everything else. Nobody ever walked around and said, man, that Tyler Perry, man, this, and this, he putting on a dress. Ain't nobody finna support that, man. He got to be this. That ain't never been a couple of people have said it over the years, and for certain reasons other than just putting on a dress. But for some reason, he's putting out this perception like, oh, well, if you're doing certain things in America it's homophobic. Like, America not homophobic. To be honest with you, the other countries are more homophobic than America is. And to be honest with you, it never was an issue until people wanted more rights than everybody else. Like, it's now, people now I'm starting to see if you're black and you're gay, oh, okay, people like, okay. But if you're just black and doing your own thing, you ain't got the same rights as somebody who's not. If you understand what I'm saying. So they'll sit up here. What I don't like is about all this talk, because I'm going to go past this real quick. What I don't like is this same person right here, and I'm not saying he does, I don't know his experience, but people like this, they'll sit up here and say, oh, ain't no racism over here in America, or ain't no racism over here in these countries or that. But there's homophobia. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of homophobia going on. I don't like that. I don't like that. It feels like, to me, men trying to get more rights when it's already enough rights to go around that people aren't really spreading out. People are still being racist and color coding and everything else. So let's be 100. Like, until that gets fixed, that should never be over homophobia. Racism has always been worse than homophobia. People have lost their lives over racism. We have countries going to war over racism. So I don't know where these people be talking about. It seems like they want to put that. Nobody even knows. I don't know. I'm not in these people's houses, so I don't know who they sleeping with or having sex with. Like, I don't know what their perception is where you can just look at somebody, oh, unless you're like a transgender or whatever. And then even when you're a transgender, a lot of transgenders still be sleeping with women. So I don't know what this man's talking about. I'm confused. Then they take it a step further and they go to, well, the youth is struggling LGBT youth, be proud of who you are. So you want these kids, so these kids can be out here doing whatever they want over what their family believes in, whatever. They can do whatever they want. But I can't smoke weed. I can't smoke weed, but these kids can do whatever they want. But as a grown man, you got a problem with me smoking weed and marijuana? Just be yourself. Don't let anybody do you down. I've been privileged, very privileged, because I'm in a business that kind of accepts gay people. I'm in a business that kind of accepts gay people. I'm in a business that kind of accepts gay people. I'm in a business that kind of accepts gay people. There are kids that aren't privileged. They come from poor. There are kids that aren't privileged. They come from poor backgrounds. Their parents don't understand. Religion gives them a hard time. Oh my God. Yeah, but y'all see why a lot of people out here are iffy about listening to these celebrities and things like that? John says when he was 23 is when he actually realized that he was gay. Thought he said he was bisexual around the time. I'm confused. I got off to a very slow start. I was like the tortoise and the hare, and then suddenly the tortoise overtook the hare, and I made up for lost time. Yeah, but y'all understand what this is? So we out here. He has a problem when people smoke, grown people smoking marijuana, and it being legalized. Well, allegedly, smoking marijuana, but being legalized and everything. That's the issue. But he supports this movement right here, as far as with the youth, with kids. You can't tell nobody what to do with their kids. It's weird out here. People telling people what to do with their kids, but he has a problem with grown people legalizing marijuana and smoking it. That's all I got. Like and subscribe.